It might look like a lot of work, but it's really not. It's quite easy to set up and it's quite easy to configure. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up Keycloak and how to configure it. And we're also going to see a demo where we integrate it with a React app. Generally, when we talk about auth services, we only think of login and logout, but there is so much more to it. Generally, these auth services fall into a domain called identity and access management. And within identity and access management, there are several branches like authentication, authorization, user administration, and so on and so forth. So the reason I'm discussing these points is because Keycloak allows you to do all these things within your application. So that makes it really, really powerful. So let's explore each of these, let's explore what these services are. So authentication is quite easy to understand. It just talks about login and logout and session management and single sign-on, and you must be familiar with these terms. And social media integration. So what is social media integration? You must have seen some websites where you can sign up with your Google account and log in to the application and access it without having to create any new ID. So that's what social media integration is. So Keycloak allows you to integrate Google or Facebook or Twitter into your application. So this allows user to log in to your app using Gmail or Twitter credentials. So that makes it really convenient for the user, right? They don't have to create any new ID or remember any new password. So it makes it convenient. Next is user management. So Keycloak gives you an interface to manage the users, as in you can perform all the user administrative related tasks using the interface, like creating the user or deleting the user or exporting the users. It doesn't allow exporting users, but there's a workaround which we'll discuss in this video. But yeah, I mean, it does give you an interface to sort of manage the users. Like you can set the password expiry time, or you can reset the password or give a temporary password and allow the user to change it to whatever they want. So yeah, all these things come under user management. Now, speaking of authorization, a lot of users get confused between authentication and authorization. So authentication only deals with login and logout, whereas authorization describes what the user can see or cannot see in your application and what the user can or cannot do in their application. So we achieve this by assigning roles to the user. So generally, when you're creating a platform, not every user is the same, right? You might have an administrator who needs elevated access, or just have someone who's just subscribing and he just want to explore the content, so they might need limited set of access. So we achieve this segregation of duties. SOD stands for segregation of duties, by assigning different roles to the user and thereby restricting what they can and cannot do on your platform. Last one is central user repository. It just means you can centrally manage your users. It's not that relevant, but yeah, because Keycloak is self-hosted, you can run it on your own server and you can integrate it with all the applications that you run within your ecosystem, right? You might just have one web service, or you might provide different services. So you can centrally manage all the users. That way, the user can use a single credential to log in across all the platforms. So it makes it really convenient. All right, that's a brief summary of identity and access management. Now let's get into the technical. So I'll show you how to spin up a Keycloak server. Provide different services. So you can centrally manage all the users. That way, the user. We're going to use Docker to spin up the Keycloak server. If you don't have Docker installed on your machine, maybe watch some other video, get it set up, and then come back to watching this video. Also, you don't need to be an expert in Docker. I'll try to break down the commands that I use and make it as simple as possible. All right, to spin up the server, we just need to run this single command. That's it. So let me break it down. So what this command does is it downloads the Keycloak image from Docker Hub, and then we set certain parameters like the admin ID account and admin ID password, and we also do a port mapping because Docker runs